What about the people that say, well, the reason WFG Associates push the FFIUL is because it's a Transamerica product, and of course Transamerica is part of WFG, they're connected. What do you say to the people that say that it's sort of the fix is in, so to speak, because they're connected companies?
Number one, also that I think that they may not understand that World Financial Group, we don't have to only sell FFIUL, Transamerica. We can sell nationwide, we can sell Pacific Life, we can sell every company. Part of the reason why that a lot of sales force sell FFIUL, just like any business, we have to have relationship. Transamerica is one of the companies that who support World Financial Group when the early stage, when nobody believed in what we do. So they were there for us. And also because of that, also that their product, because right now at this point we have a lot of different products on the portfolio right now. And it's kind of nice also that you know that every company, when you sell, when your volume go up, I can negotiate more commission to the agent, or I can get a cheapest pricing for my customer. So because of that, and also the support from Transamerica, we have relationship from that. Number two, also because that we have been selling for so long, we know how to design a product for our consumer. Because we have volume, we can get a better pricing and also a better commission for agent. I always believe that any product have to be sustainable. You have to fulfill 3 elements. Number one, it had to be good for customer, it had to be good for agent, and definitely had to be good for company. If the company doesn't make money, they cannot sustain. And then these 3 parties will not do well. It had to be win-win-win situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift for a second to the people that are looking at selling insurance, and some of the critics, as you know, say, well, why would someone that wants to sell insurance get into WFG where the commissions in the early stages are maybe 25, 35%, whereas if they go to a traditional company with a traditional compensation structure, they might be at 75 or 85%. So it's obviously a huge difference in commissions. What do you say to people that say, why do I want to go to WFG? I'd rather get a higher commission in the beginning right off the bat.
Yeah, definitely. Let's say, for example, Steve, that you are very, very skillful and you have a lot of knowledge, right? And then you just want to sell life insurance. You would like to see customer. You do not want to deal with agent. Then you shouldn't join the WFG because you can actually become an independent broker. Then you don't even get 70 or 80 or 90%, you can actually get 100% or 150%, right? The reason why that we joined the WFG, number one, we have a full-time job. Most of people, just like me, when I first started, I have a full-time job. I did not know whether I would like this industry or not, number one. So I do not want to quit my job, right, to be full-time in the WFG. And also number two, also, I do not want to, the company impose a quota for me that how many sales I had to do per month. Just like a company, if you get a higher contract, there's a quota involved, you have to be full-time with them. Number three also, because I do not have that much experience yet, so I got to have somebody who teach me. So for me, that I don't mind to split commission, get a lower commission, so somebody up there can actually help me to do that. The most important thing also that I think that we joined the BFG, that the structure had to build that way so that we have a chance to build agency. So multi-tier commission had to get in place for me to build an agency. So that, because that lower commission is just a temporary. You will not stay the lower commission forever, right? The only time that you stay at the lower commission, unless you cannot even progress anything. In that case, you go out and get a higher contract in the other industry, you will get fired after 1 month. So if I'm very, very good, I have no problem start at lower, right? Then I can go all the way up. Like for example, before I joined the WFG, I was in a loan business. My contract's 90%. My broker get 10%. I know how to sell already. But I came to this industry, I started 25%. My friend was telling me, he said, why that you want to start at 25%? Where you can work for New York, like at least you get 60 or 70%, right? But the problem is that I don't want to sell forever. I want to be able to have a spread. It's not about the percentage you get. It's about the spread and the profit that you make.
I see. Okay. What about the people that say, and there's critics out there on the internet that say, well, I went to a WFG meeting, a BPM as you guys call them, and it seemed like a really hard sell. I mean, they were really pushing me to sign what WFG, of course, calls an AMA or a membership agreement. What do you say to the people that say WFG is a hard sell culture?
I think the statement may not be completely 100%. I think that some people may be a little bit it's a different personality, right? You have people are very structured, where people are very technical, people are very relational, people are very action-oriented. So I don't think because of somebody are very pushy that you think this is a whole culture, right? That's the number one. I don't think WFG is a hard sell. When AMA $100, you think about $100, right? The $100 when you join the WFG, first thing first, you have a lot of financial education that provided by the company that you cannot even get any place else. $100, Steve, that you go to community college for one classes, it may cost you more than $100, right? And $100 will go off for dinner tonight, it may cost you more than $100. But $100 that you come in, number one, you at least you get financial education, right? But I believe that $100, right? Why do you join the WFG? Why do you pay $100? It's number one that you want to become, besides learning, you want to become financial independent. That's the ultimate goal for a lot of people like you and me. How do you become financial independent? You need to have 3 elements. Number one, you need to have financial education, right? You have to know what you are buying. Then you need to know what kind of financial solution you're going to get. After you learn all the knowledge, and it's going to be very transparent. You know what you are buying. You know how much we get paid, right? And number 3 or so, you got to have money, right? Financial independence is financial education, financial solution, and also that the income, the active income and the passive income. So the $100 provides you these 3 choices that you want to do. Either you want to come and learn, or you come in to get to know what kind of product out there, what kind of financial solution that you can help your family to become financial independent so that you can let your money work for you. And if you believe what we believe, you have a chance to become, to earn this money part-time, to learn this career part-time in case something happens to your full-time job, then you have a backup plan. And also that you have a chance to turn your W-2 income into 1099. And Steve, you are the business owner. You know that the reason why people do not do well, right, in United States, because when you have a job, right, or you have a self-employed, that you basically, your whole financial portfolio is based on your credit report. Business owner or investor, when they want to leverage the money, they look at the financial report, not credit report, right? So we have a chance, like for myself, I was an employee, right? My father was self-employed, but we never have a chance to actually get into the business. Business, when you have to have people that you work with, you can leverage a lot of people, and you also have to leverage the resources, financial resources, right? So we have a chance. So $100, if you think the $100 is a push, and I think literally, I think that $100 is actually open a door for them. But for people who doesn't want to join the business, and then I like when I do my recruiting presentation, at the end, I don't talk about how much money I make because it's not important to them. Number one, they cannot relate anyway. Number 2, also that I say that there's a lot of money to be made in this industry. But also you may not make any money at all. I cannot promise you anything. But one thing I can promise you, you will love the association, you will love the knowledge you acquire from this company. Financial knowledge and also self-improvement program. Somebody like you, right? We read your book, we love your book, right? How can we know about you unless that you were introduced by WFG?
Okay. In terms of, you've been in the business 24 years. You're one of the top people in the company. Say someone is watching this, maybe they just saw BPM or someone introduced WFG to them in one way or another. After 24 years and all the success you've had in this, what would be the best piece of advice you could give to that new person who's kind of trying to decide whether to go forward or not?
If you're very, very new in this business, first thing first, right? You want to at least show up first. Show up. Show up to see what we do. Rather you read for all these things from internet, because it's not important. People you read from the internet, you do not know them, they do not know you. Show up. It's very important. If you cannot even show up, right, then nothing's going to happen. I always believe that opportunity is always there. It's whether you grab it or not. So show up is very important. And once you show up, once you understand, make yourself understand. Some people take very fast, some people take very slow. Get yourself understand as soon as possible. Once you understand, then you should submit yourself to the system.
Okay. What's the biggest obstacle? Obviously, people are concerned about. They know it. Nothing good comes easy, as we all know. What's the biggest obstacle you faced in your 24-year journey with WFG?
I think myself, because WFG is a business, right? If you want to make money in WFG, it is a business. In any other business, the one that will control the own business is you. So a lot of obstacle is actually they do not know how to handle emotionally very, very well. That's the biggest thing. I think that if you understand about how do you handle emotionally well, then you'll be fine.
Would you say your biggest obstacle was the emotional component of building it?
Emotional about how to become entrepreneur. Because the emotion about insecure when I don't have a sales. Emotion about discipline my disappointment. Emotion about worry about what's going to happen. I think emotion also about approval addiction. Because when you start talking to a lot of people out there, and when people start saying no to you, in fact, they say no to the opportunity. But new people, they take it literally. They thought that they get hurt, right? So it's an emotion, approval addiction, insecure about what's going to happen. Like I usually tell people, I say that you ask any entrepreneur out there, right? If they want to start any business, if they only spend 40 hours per week, will you think they become successful? They will not. Any entrepreneur, right? They had to start at least about 80 hours per week to start with, right? WFG, when you first come in, you spend about maybe 4 hours per week going to the meeting. And then after 3 weeks, nothing happened, you want to quit, right? So again, this is what I'm so excited about this opportunity talking to you, because I always believe that for the last 24 years, I say, how come people do not do well in the WFG? Because they don't understand how to run business in the aspect of tangible and intangible. The skill set, the operating, the skill set, and also the product and everything, and also how do they handle themselves. Steve, you are one of the most successful entrepreneurs. I'm very sure that you got to know how to handle your emotion quite well, right?
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure. Speaking of emotion, what was your lowest emotional point in WFG during your 24 years?
And when you start building a team, right? And you get all excited, then suddenly the team die, right? And then first thing first, you come to ask yourself about what's wrong with me, What did I do wrong?
They quit, in other words.
They quit.
They don't die, really die. Okay, I just want to clarify that. They quit
on this business, right? They quit on this business, right? And they give you so much excuses, right? And then you start asking yourself, and then what's wrong with me? Why that my people doesn't stay? You know what I'm saying? And then my lowest point in my career is when suddenly after you work for a while, 2000 the .com era hit, right? And then agents start getting insecure about the market, right? And then a customer will start complaining because they buy investment product, and then you do have some agent quit for many reasons, and then you start scared, right? And then so every single time there's a big crisis that happen, that you get scared. So one thing that I realized after 24 years, there's certain things that you cannot control. Then you just have to know that I just have to hang in there. If I hang in there long enough, right, all those crises going to be over. I just have to become better. Once I become better, the emotion that you're going through is actually going to be shorter. So then you bounce back faster. In any business, no matter how you interview a lot of successful people, no matter how successful they are, they always go to that. They also go to the area that I think winning strategy is about this, right? You got to be able. You have to face failure, and then when you start doing failure, then hopefully you don't blame other people, right? Then you want to start asking yourself, what can I improve? And you don't be too hard on yourself too, right? You have to ask yourself, and then maybe that you have to start accept, okay, this is what happened, and how do I move on.
Okay. So speaking of your, again, your experience in the 24 years, if you had to do this, start over and do this from the beginning, what would you do differently?
I think I will do more self-improvement, read more book. That's for sure. Because I learned a lot of mistake by going. I gained my experience by making a lot of mistake, and some mistake can be avoided. Should I learn about, and then sometimes I have a great leader, and I think I'm very, very coachable. But still, sometimes you have parent death, right? I may able to absorb everything, but I did not know how to articulate or learn the way to communicate with my team member a little bit better. So I learned about a lot of things, like for example, approval addiction. I learned from you, right? I thought I was successful until I learned from you that compared to who. That kind of keywords, and it's very crucial. Should I learn about this? I think I can retain more people.
Okay. Well, what's given you the greatest joy during your career in WFG?
To see people become successful. To witness somebody who came to the business when they don't have anything. Right? I like, for example, you look at one of my top, right now she's number one. Like last month she was number one personal producer, number one bass shop, number two super bass in the whole company. Connie Chen, who came to this business because she wanted to learn English. Right? Many months in the business presentation meeting, office meeting, she came in by not knowing what we say at all. She had to learn English from ABC. She have a dictionary, electronic dictionary. So she will punch in the number, the words English, and then it will come out Chinese. That's how she took her license.
Wow. Took
her 1.5 years to pass her license, life license. And right now she's about 2.5, right? Going to be $2.5 million. That's very rewarding, and that's very, very fulfilling. And you have somebody like Jackie Tam, who came in 23 years old, $42,000 in a credit card debt. Father just went through the heart surgery. So very young, I call him the wall man because he look at the wall all the time because he refused to talk to somebody else because he doesn't know how to speak. Took him 19 years to become CEO, right?
19 years.
19 years,
wow.
19. But he always make about, after 3 he makes 6-figure, low 6-figure income. But he will never be able to go over the hump to become CEO. But every year he will tell me, I'm going to become a CEO, I'm going to become CEO, right? So I look at that, they are such an inspiration to me. I do not know if I were in Connie's situation, will I stay around, right?
Sure.
If I'm in Jackie's situation, if I see all my peers become successful, I still come to the meeting, I still very, very excited about this, will I be able to stay? So, but they are the success story. I think they may not make as much money as I make today, right now, or they will. I'm very sure, but they're such an unsung hero. There's many unsung heroes in WFG. This is why that WFG become WFG today. So I always think that, so don't listen to all this internet, don't read all these things. Because people, if they say bad thing about the company, right, usually people who quit already. And I always think that if people quit, who are they going to blame? Majority are going to blame other people except themselves. I think first thing first, I think for us to have a happy life, that if we start taking full responsibility, I think the world will be a better place. But this is it, right? I think this is how the world operates. So, but I think that for me that I can be very, very biased because I have nothing. 1994, I was 27 years old. I have a daughter who was 8 months old when I first started. My parents are all in Malaysia, right? So after 24 years, my whole family is here, right? So when they come here, I bought them a home. Everybody have a home, right? So if today I stop the WFG, I don't have to worry for many generations. They teach me not only how to make money, they teach me how to save a lot of money. And the most important thing also that they, if you have a chance to go to my Instagram, You look at how my daughter, I don't know whether they're going to take over the business. They have a bigger ambitious want to do in life. But I think that this is one of the great company provide this, if you're willing to get to know us a little bit better, right? And then also get to know us and keep improving yourself.